Hello and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett,
And I'm Kevin.
and we are your hosts. Movie Club is a show where we pick a movie every week and discuss it, just like a book club. On today's show, we are covering the comedy drama Lost in Translation. Our thoughts and more are coming up on Movie Club. Released in 2003, Lost in Translation was directed by Sofia Coppola and stars Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson, and Akiko Takashita. Two lost souls visiting Tokyo, the young, neglected wife of a photographer and a washed up movie star shooting a TV commercial, find an odd solace and pensive freedom to be real in each other's company away from their lives in America. The film currently has a 3.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. The film was nominated for 3 Academy Awards for Best Actor for Bill Murray, Best Director, and Best Picture. It won 1 Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for this movie. We're going to talk about everything that happens in it, so we don't want to ruin the experience for you if you have not seen it before. If you'd like to check the film out, you can check it out on various different places. I don't know where it's streaming. I think you have to rent it. I just bought the Blu-ray for it this week, so I was able to watch it that way. But you might have to rent it, I believe.
I rented it.
Okay, so then you had to rent it. Alrighty, Kevin, so Lost in Translation was my pick this week, and I'll just be flat out honest. I picked this because I hear people talk about it all the time. It's one of those movies I heard about incessantly since it came out, and I've never actually seen it. So I wanted to finally watch it.
Nice.
Now, had you heard about this movie at all before this week?
I have heard about this movie because I have seen the cover. I don't know if it's a Criterion color where Bill Murray's sitting on the bed or something like that.
That's
Maybe
just the normal cover.
The normal cover. Okay, so I have heard about it, but I haven't heard it being praised at all. Like no one being like, "Oh my gosh, Lost in Translation is really good" or something like that. I just have seen the movie, not actually heard about it.
Gotcha. Well, this is finally time to actually check it out. And before we kind of dive in, kind of some first impressions, because we're both coming into this completely blind, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's perfect by any means. It does have some flaws that I want to address as we get into this, but I do think that it is a very good looking movie. And the core relationship between Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray is the reason you watch this. And I think
a young ScarJo too. I didn't realize how young
21, 22. Yeah, she's very young. But yeah, so I enjoyed this movie. Kevin, spoiler-free thoughts before we dive in.
Spoiler-free thoughts for me is going to be the cinematography and the beauty in this movie. I think I absolutely love, and it's not because it's in Tokyo or anything like that, but just the shots, especially. I won't spoil anything at the end, but the end shots was just all these people crowding around you, and they just silhouette those two people. Perfect. I think that was absolutely fantastic. But it's really based only in a couple of places this entire movie, so it's very broad but still very homey in a way, if that makes sense. But I really I enjoyed it to an extent, but there are some stuff that I didn't particularly. I think it could have worked on, I should say.
Sure. Well, let's go ahead and dive in a little bit deeper then. So you've been warned. We'll be spoiling the movie going forward. Let's go ahead and talk about issues first, because it sounds like we both have some issues with the movie. And what was I wonder if any of mine line up to yours. What would you say is the primary issue that you had?
For me, the first act in this movie I did not enjoy as much, because until you get to Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray kind of creating that friendship, up until then I didn't really I know we're trying to get into everybody's past and everything like that. I didn't really enjoy making my way up to seeing Scarlett Johansson and him becoming friends, like him during the TV shoot and stuff like that. I did not enjoy, because it's he's very, oh, what is he saying? He's just saying that. Oh, it's this and stuff. It's just didn't really resonate with me more than I thought it would. So it kind of it's again, it's slow to start. Maybe I'll just put it that way. It's very slow to start, but once you get into the friendship relationship between these two, it's a rocket. It just goes off for me.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think that I necessarily agree because I think in
Okay.
that first act we see a lot of what makes Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson's characters them, and I think it's
Mhm.
really important to feel why to show why and how they are so isolated, not only in this new culture, this new country, whatever, but also even from their own peers,
Okay.
right? And how they're so alone. So yeah, it is slow, but I
Mhm.
think it's a necessary slow before you get into the good, if that
Okay.
makes any kind of
No,
sense.
it does.
So
It does.
that's the only way
Mhm.
I'll kind of fight that. Um, so I had two primary issues with this movie. First is there is the age gap between Bill
Yeah.
Murray and Scarlett Johansson. It's a little weird. Now, I say that with a grain of salt because I am someone like I don't, I'm okay dating someone who is outside of typically someone who's older. I don't want to date someone younger, but I've dated someone who's 20 years older than I am. So like I have experience in that. So it's not like it's not like I'm totally against it, but in the movie, it just feels a little odd because he's 50 and she's like straight out of college.
Uh,
So
the thing I would say about that is they don't really get too romantic in this movie.
no, and I think that's what
And
kind of saves it too.
mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and like, and
But
we'll I think because she takes it to be a little bit more romantic than he does. I think,
yes. Mhm.
which is indicative of her character and what she's going through with her husband.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I it still feels a little weird. The other issue
Mhm.
for me though is the way that the Japanese are represented in this movie.
Okay.
It's questionable at best
Mhm.
and outright racist at other times.
Okay.
Um, Now, this is a movie made in 2003, so
Mhm.
there are different societal, expectations and norms and stuff. But in a devil's advocate kind of way, I think that this movie it's handled like a bull in an antique shop. But I think that there's at least an attempt there to show the differences in the cultures,
Mhm.
the differences in the people and the expectations and the etiquette, everything, right? Some of it goes in a little bit of the direction where it's funny at the expense of, the Japanese, but most of that comes from Bill Murray's character.
Mhm.
And he's a 50-year-old white guy in 2003. They're not the most tolerant group of people.
No.
So, like devil's advocate, I do understand like why some of it's there. I just
Mhm.
think that like with how good this movie portrays the natural beauty and like the beauty of the city, like the shot of him playing golf with Mount Fuji in the background is incredible.
Well, even the shot with her going to the statues and I don't know what they're called. I'm so sorry. The where the monks are and everything like
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like all of that is fantastic when they're by themselves. It's absolutely beautiful.
yeah. And I just wish they would have extended the same courtesy they showed to the environments to the people, and show
And
like the best of the people, and not just like, oh, they're all in an arcade playing, you know, weird games, like that
but
kind of
but
thing.
I think they kind of did at the same time because Scarlett Johansson's friends from Japan, where Bill Murray gets to meet them when they're doing karaoke, they're
Mhm,
all different in a way,
mhm.
and they're all very like, oh, I enjoy this guy because of this way. So I like how different
Yeah,
they brought everybody into, if that
everyone's
makes sense.
unique and everyone feels
Yeah.
different. Yeah, like, which
Hmm.
which is good, and I think that that's good. And also, no one's ever like impolite to
No.
anyone, like because Japanese culture, it's a very polite kind of a thing. But like, it was just kind of. I think it mostly comes down to the way that Bill Murray kind of sees the world and like the difference in language. Like, why isn't the English perfect or whatever? Like, so, and also
Hmm.
the thing with like I think she's like a call girl in his room.
Oh.
Uh, was a
Hmm.
little that was probably the worst offender. Like
Hmm.
he's just not understanding anything she's saying. That was a little cringy,
Hmm.
but
But
with the rest of it, I kind of see the purpose and like
but I
why
kind
it's there.
but I kind of like how they they they're not making fun of the Asian culture, but they're making fun of the white culture in this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that because I mean, not saying that it's easy to make fun of other cultures, but coming from a like coming from Bill Murray, who is a comedian, can make funny jokes about pretty much anything. But him
Sure.
taking this role a lot more serious than I thought he would is fantastic. Because you said it's a romantic comedy. There's not that much comedy in this romantic comedy,
There are funny moments for sure,
but that's
um,
moments.
but it's not a comedy. Yeah, and I want to build off that because Bill Murray is incredible in this movie.
So good, so good. Like,
Best he's ever been.
yeah, I can definitely see that and have a say in that because I know him from like Zombieland and a lot of his, his comedic roles.
Yeah,
But in this movie, I don't know, he's not, I don't want to say monotone in this movie, but he's very laid back and very just tired in this movie, I feel like. And it's because he's struggling to get parts and stuff like that. And but he just has this like ambiance on him, like you understand where he's coming from in this movie at points. And the way he just doesn't have to say stuff, he can just have it on his face the entire time is what I really enjoyed.
yeah, 100%. It's an incredible performance.
Hmm.
Scarlett Johansson is also really good for how young she is here.
Hmm.
Or not
Hmm.
young, how early in her career she is.
Yeah.
She is also very fantastic here. She's got this joyous kind of energy and a youthful optimism when she's around Bill Murray.
But I think that's because of the story. A
Yeah,
25-year-old relationship versus a 2-year-old relationship. And I really like how they kind of put them up against each other because I really liked when Scarlett Johansson asked Bill Murray, how is she says something before this question, and Bill answers her, and then she goes, well, how is marriage after this? And then he has like a pause in this, and it's like he's trying to not persuade her to be scared of the future, but trying to persuade her to be hopeful and like kind of watch out for things in the future of marriage. And I really like that. It didn't have to be like it's cool that they were in the same bed, but they weren't doing anything. It was just like the fact that they could be doing something, but they're not because of this reason.
yeah, absolutely. And getting into it, I mean, their relationship is the whole reason you watch this movie.
Hmm.
The way that they grow from strangers into just friends into something that feels a little bit more romantic is genuine, and
Hmm.
it feels real, and honestly, it's a beautiful thing to see. Like, I kind of wrapped up my Letterboxd review with this, right? It's like, it's what I love about this. It's the idea that the best person for you is somewhere out there. It's time
Hmm.
to like embrace the positive, get rid of the toxic people in your life, and go to that strip club, go do karaoke, wear that loud camouflage T-shirt, like be you and be with the people that let you be you. And I
Hmm.
think that was really what I walked away from this, and to see them having fun and to see them enjoying this environment where they're both completely uh out of their element. Like the title is perfect for this movie too. Like,
And I thought it was going to have to deal with something with television, and it does in the beginning. But yeah, it's a lost in translation with relationships and with
mhm,
yourself a lot of the time in this movie. And it's, again, like you said, it's a perfect title for this movie because you can take lost in translation to so many other avenues, with maybe mental health. Lost in translation in that way, so it can go so many different ways, and you can watch this movie in 10 years from now when something major happens in your life, and you get something else out of this movie. And I absolutely, it's a great fantastic movie, I feel like.
yeah, I absolutely
Hmm.
love it too. I mean,
Hmm.
even with some of the issues that it has in some of its aspects, I do think that it is a beautiful film about finding the right person for you, maybe somewhere where you weren't expecting.
Yeah, and it's like when you find a person like me and you, or when we go online to game with a random person, and you just develop a liking to always going back and be like, hey, you want to play tonight, something like that. And then eventually I see a lot of videos on this online where they finally get to meet this person after 10 years of gaming and stuff. I'm like, that's so cool, and that's what it feels like in this movie. But it's just, it sucks at the end when he has to fucking leave. It pissed me off.
Yeah, I mean, we met literally because I took the position that you were leaving. You know, and you know, like there's fun ways that you meet the people in your life, but and you know, sometimes you meet them later in your life. Alrighty, Kevin. So this was my pick this week. I'll go ahead and kind of wrap up my thoughts first. Again, I thought this was an incredibly beautiful movie about two very genuine feeling characters that take this relationship from strangers to the borderline of romantic, I would say, because of the situation they're in, because of the location they're in, because they're really the only people they really have, and it just ends up being the right thing. The cinematography is incredible. The music is great. The screenplay is immaculate. Really, really love this film. Sure, it has some issues with cultural representation, and there is a bit of a weirdness with the age gap between Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson in this movie. But if you can get over those, I think that it is a truly beautiful film that more people should watch. So I gave it an 82 out of 100, which is a 4 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. What about you?
So I agree with you on all those points. I did like the representation of different Asian culture in this as well, getting different people that don't look like stereotypical Asian people in this movie that ScarJo gets friends around because she's trying to build a friendship with somebody. I did not mind the what's it called, the age gap between them, because I thought of it as like a dad and daughter kind of situation. So except for the whole romantic thing, that's out the window after that point. But the cinematography in this movie is absolutely beautiful. The shots that you get, like we talked about, the golf shot is it's just drop dead gorgeous in this. But I also like just the dynamic between Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson in this movie. They are absolutely fantastic. You kind of feel yourself being maybe one of the two, or what I had was you can find, like me going to a different work, it's been a year already, and finding new people that I enjoy working with and can see friendship building out of work, which I thought I would, which is fantastic for me. But it's just so fantastic. I love this movie from top to bottom, except for the first beginning. I think it's a little bit slow to start, but once you start getting to know Scarlett Johansson's character and Bill Murray, who has an absolute drop dead performance in this movie, that's when it starts to pick up and the rocket starts to take off. So I gave this movie an 87 out of 100, which is 4 stars out of 5 for me.
Alrighty. So there you have it. We have our reviews in the bag for Lost in Translation. The question now falls to you. What do you think of Lost in Translation? Would love to hear down in the comment section down below what you think of the film. Just remember to be respectful of one another, because it's really not hard to be respectful. But next week we're going to be covering the 2020 version of the horror film The Invisible Man. So we'll be covering that next week. Make sure to watch it before next week so you're not spoiled. And that'll be it. So thank you so much for watching. Of course, this video series goes live every single Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we have our movie club, our Real Watchers live stream, which goes live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we talk about movie news, reviews, and so much more. So thank you again so much for watching. And until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen.